Alright, I'm not even going to bother with an intro here. I'm just going to be making some beef stew. So you're going to be working with about, I don't know, like a third of a sausage of ground beef here. I'm working with 3 stalks of celery. I'm going to have to cut this end off. These are 2 green onions, rather. These are frozen bell peppers. These are some frozen peppers. Not peppers, sorry. Onions, white wine vinegar, and these are the seasonings that I'll be using here. Crushed red pepper, basil, parsley, garlic salt, garlic pepper, oregano leaves, and 6 pepper blend. And white wine vinegar for taste. Oh, and I forgot garlic. So, the first step usually whenever I start making this is either to cut up the veggies or to start straining these guys, because since they're in a can, they typically contain liquid, and that will prevent them from frying a little bit in here. And I need to actually I'll strain them first, and I'll come back once they're strained and these are cut. Okay, as you can see, I diced all these are the green onions, and this is the celery sticks. My corn has been over here drying out for a while. And the reason I only did the corn instead of all of these, by the way, is because I'm going to be frying this, actually. I'm going to fry it until it's golden brown, and then I'll mix in the rest of my vegetables. So I'll show you how to do that. So usually it helps to add something that can help caramelize corn. Something like sugar, for instance. You don't have to use this, but I usually do because it helps me. So I will be demonstrating that now. Typically, what I do is I grab, what is this? This is about a tablespoon actually, I'm sorry, and just sprinkle it onto the corn. Mix it around a little bit so it gets evenly spread. And now I have to transfer the corn, into here with olive oil to help it fry. So I'll be taking that off. See if I can do it with one hand. God damn it, I can't. I cheated. I used 2 hands. There's a thing in there. Oh my god. Okay, I got it off. I'm gonna pour. Yeah, I'm not measuring. I don't know how much that is. But I'll pour this amount into here, and then I'll transfer the corn into here. I'll pause and do that real quick. Alright, that process is now done. I'm going to try to get everything coated in the oil real quick. Make sure I turn it on. I'll leave it on. Usually I like to set it on high for now so it can... Okay, so it can get the pot hot, at least, is what I'm trying to say. And it should start to pop in about maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Sometimes it helps to add some seasonings like, let me see what I have here. Sometimes it helps to add seasoning like cayenne pepper, but I usually hate that because it's just not really much flavor. It really just adds raw spice. It's like eating raw capsaicin. Oh, it's already sizzling. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll let it sit here for a bit. Okay. Place this top on. Okay. Let me see what seasoning I usually use. So whenever it comes to, what is it called? Frying corn, typically, where's the paprika? Okay, usually what you use is something like paprika, cayenne pepper, and occasionally sugar. Okay, as I was saying, usually you just turn the heat up, wait a couple minutes, and it should start to fry. But while it's doing that, we can start cooking the meat. So I'm going to turn this up to high as well. Maybe at about a 6. And I will be using a different utensil because you should not cross-contaminate raw beef with corn. Bad idea. even though they're going to go into each other. Whatever. I also forgot to mention that these aren't all the spices that I'll be using. There's some over here. These guys. These will be for the meat. That's paprika. This is some rosemary, a grinder. This is some garlic. Or wait, no, not garlic. What is it called? Fucking. Hold on. Ginger root, ground chili powder, and sweet heat rub. I typically use a different seasoning other than that sweet heat, but I'm out of that seasoning right now. I'm not sure what the name of it is. Also, you do not need to add any oil to the beef because it has its own, even if it's lean, it still contains a lot of oil. So, you don't really need to add anything to it. I'll come back to you when either the corn starts to pop or when the beef turns brown. Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. It wasn't browning nearly as fast as I wanted it to, so I added a little bit of paprika and garlic to it. Not garlic salt, just like raw garlic powder, I mean, at least. Also, the meat is starting to brown. I gotta put a top on this thing so it doesn't pop me. Getting popped by hot oil is not fun. Let me tell you. I'm currently trying to break the meat apart so it gets cooked easier. After a while of frying, you should see that your corn has started to change color a little bit. Not quite sure if you can see this in all its detail, but some of the kernels here are becoming a little more brown, and I'll pick one up and show you. Hold on. I don't know if you can see this up close, but there's some. No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick these up, but there's some spots on it, and that's how you know it's starting to fry. I think what's happening is that the seasoning is being cooked as well as the corn, so some parts of the corn becomes darker, which gives it the some of the spices get cooked, and since they stick to the corn, it looks like the corn has a spotty appearance, which I think looks pretty cool, and I like it. So I'm gonna put this back on, the lid back on, let this cook for a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, once you notice all of your meat has turned brown like this, you can begin to season it using these guys over here. So I will be using paprika. Again, I'm not measuring here. This is usually hard cooked anyways. Sweet heat rub. A lot of seasoning there. Ground chili powder. God damn it. And lastly, a little bit of ginger root. Okay, that's a little more than a little bit, but you get the idea. Now you mix it all together, and your meat should start to look orangish, a brownish orange color. Also, I don't know if you can hear this, but my corn is indeed popping. I take this lid off real quick. I'm gonna mix that. Shit. Oh. Fucking scared the shit out of me. God damn it. Okay, these are done cooking. Put that top on so it doesn't scare the shit out of me again. And mix this up. Okay, I'm going to give this a taste test real quick. Got a spoon here. Oh, this is the mixed veggies. I'm leaving them out so they can actually fry. I think it tastes good. Needs a little bit more of the flavorful seasoning here, which is this. It tastes like the seasonings that I have it, but it's not nearly as strong as I usually like it to be. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that. I can definitely taste the ginger root though. It's a subtle flavor though. It's not nearly as strong as something like garlic or cayenne pepper, which is honestly the worst ingredient I think anyone has ever invented. All it does is burn my goddamn tongue. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. I just said tie instead of try. Yikes. That's much better. That is significantly better. Okay, this is done cooking. We can leave this aside for now because we're going to be focusing on our veggies now. Okay, so my plan is, since I'm going to be using this pot to cook the veggies in, I'm going to transfer all of this corn into this pot, which will be used to combine everything at the very end. So I'm going to pour this in, I'm going to cut away, and when I come back, it'll be in, and we can start cooking the veggies. Okie dokie, mission complete. We got the corn in here. My hand was in the way. We got the corn in here, and we got nothing in here, except for a little bit of pieces of corn here. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to the pan. Olive oil, of course. And I will be adding in my canned veggies. Start off with that much. That should be enough to cover the entire thing, by the way. We do not need to add any more olive oil for the rest of the dish, as far as I know. And now I need to transfer this into here. Alright, mission completed, as you can see. Now I'm going to transfer my celery and my green onions. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. And this, which are more onions and bell peppers here, along with garlic. So I'm going to do that now. Cut away. Okay, I took everything and put it in here. We now have all of our vegetables cooking. And if you're wondering how many peppers and onions I used, I grabbed about 1 handful of peppers. Actually, no, 2 handfuls of peppers and 1 handful of onions. Typically, what I do when I'm making these veggies, and people seem to really like them whenever I do it this way, is I let them cook for a little bit. Let them get covered in oil, let them fry for a little bit, and then I start adding my herbs, so oregano, parsley, and basil. I let that cook for a little bit more again, and then I add all of my seasoning, so red pepper, garlic salt, and garlic pepper, and 6 pepper blend, and let's see. And I believe that is it. Once that's done, again, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Once that's done, I add white wine vinegar, which is right here, and then tomato paste. And then I combine everything. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this has been cooking for a bit. I'll start adding my herbs, starting with oregano. I don't have the finger strength to do this with one. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to start by adding my oregano. That is a little bit too much oregano, but whatever. Basil. And parsley. Again, that's a lot of herbs. It's very fragrant. I don't know if I said that word right. It's very fragrant. You can definitely smell the herbs and the vegetables, which I do like. Vegetables are the most fun part of cooking for me, whenever I'm making vegetables specifically, because I do them... I think I actually cook vegetables a lot better than I do anything else. So, moving on, that's been setting for a while. I will be adding my garlic pepper. Again, no measurements here, just eyeballing it. Crushed red pepper. Garlic salt. Six pepper. This is to add a little bit of spice to it, which is quite nice. And optionally, if you want to, garlic. Minced garlic, that is. Now I mix it all up. Ow, that's hot. I'm gonna turn this heat down. Should turn on the fan here. That's really fragrant. Oh my god, my nose. And lastly, white wine vinegar. This isn't actually wine, but I don't know why they call it that. Alright, add a heaping amount of that. It really gets the flavor going. I'm not sure what it is about the white wine vinegar, but it is absolutely delicious with fried veggies. Now, last couple of steps here. We're just gonna open these things of tomato paste and then pour them in so we have an actual stew consistency instead of just vegetables and beef. And then we add them together. And maybe if you want to, you can add sweet peas on top of that as well. And that's about it. So let's do that. I'm gonna use my can opener real quick. Okay, I poured in the paste and a little bit of water so I could get some of the paste out of the can as well. It sometimes gets stuck to it. So whenever you pour in the paste, since well, it's paste and we're trying to make a stew here, what you really want to do is you want to add water so that it can actually be used in a stew instead of just being a fucking, what, like a gelatin of vegetables, really. You mix that in once you add the water so you can dissolve all of the paste. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna add a little bit more water though. Actually, the entire damn thing, fuck it. This is more like a soup now, honestly, than a stew. But that's also fine. So, after all that, I'm going to combine everything into this one, including the meat as well. So, I'm going to come back to you guys when I do that. Alright, I've mixed everything. And lastly, I'm just going to add those peas from earlier. And then I'll let this simmer on about maybe a 4 for a while. And then I can eat. That's it. Okie dokie, everything is now done. So that's it. You just let this cook for a while, then you eat this. Usually you scoop it out with a ladle, which is what I'm gonna use right here. This baddie boy. And, well, that's it. If you have any suggestions or anything else I should make, or if you think my cooking is shit and you want me to improve, please tell me how. That's fine too. And, yeah, that's it. Goodbye, guys.